Hi, I'm Roxy Rose, and like I said, I'm back. I'm making another video clip, and I guess today I want to talk to you about family acceptance, or the lack of it. I won't talk about my whole family because it's a huge mess. Suffice to say that it's just nobody accepts me except my wonderful older brother and his family. And I was raised in a big family. There were 5 children, 2 older brothers, a younger brother, and a younger sister, and nobody will accept me or talk to me. But I'll talk about that probably in another video clip. But in particularly, I guess I want to talk about my parents. We were raised in a very religious upbringing. We were Jehovah's Witnesses, and I myself even became an ordained minister in that religion. Gave that all up though, and now I have to claim to be an agnostic because, after being raised so religiously, finding it just self-condemning, I just had to kind of leave religion completely. But anyways, that's another issue. But my relationship with my parents wasn't all that good. I was the middle child, felt neglected. My mom was, like I said, I had one younger sister, and basically my mom's job was to raise my younger sister. My dad's job was to raise the other 4 boys, or so he thought he was raising 4 boys. But that was my dad's job. Well, my dad was at work all the time. We only saw him in the evenings and sometimes on the weekends, hopefully on the weekends. But didn't have much of a relationship with him. Now that I've transitioned and my parents haven't accepted me at all, I first have to tell you a little bit about my dad. I worshipped him. I thought he was the greatest guy in the world. He was a man of very few words, and I always thought that he displayed the fruitages of the Spirit, patience, long-suffering, love, kindness, and all those things, because he never said anything, he never talked to us kids, and he never really said that much. And because of that, I just made it up in my mind that he was thinking all these deep and intelligent thoughts, and he just kept them to himself. As difficult as that was for him to do, but as it turns out, instead of being slow to anger, he's just a bit slow. He really doesn't have that much to say, and I found this out later on after I transitioned, and his response to it was, "Nope, we just don't accept you, Roxy." And in talking with him, he has no reasoning, nothing to say. I understand them not wanting to accept me. I mean, that's their prerogative. But as far as a reason, they can't come up with a single solitary reason, even biblically. I've done nothing wrong, so it's just very confusing to me to have parents that don't accept me. Now, as far as my mom goes, though, I have to say, I've always admired her. She's a beautiful lady, both inside and out. She has just the most wonderful personality, full of life. Everybody loves her, including me. And whenever I'm approached by an old acquaintance or something, they always ask about my mother because they love my mother. She was just that type of a lady. She is that type of a lady. Although her mother died of Alzheimer's, unfortunately my mom is also coming down with Alzheimer's. And even though she's a bit confused, when the few times that I have seen her in the last 2 years after my transition, she has given me a nice warm hug, and she has told me she loves me. I believe that she does. And I believe that if it weren't for my dad, I think that she would possibly accept me. Because now with her having Alzheimer's, she basically depends on my dad to make decisions for her and kind of direct her as to what she should do and how she should think. So that's a bit unfortunate, and I'm offended at my dad. In fact, when I call, they don't accept my phone call. It takes me about 6 or 7 times before, because they have caller ID. It takes me about 6 or 7 times before they accidentally will answer the phone. And, I asked to talk to my mom a couple times, and my dad just won't let me talk to her. He just refuses to let me talk to her, which I find very offensive. Well, that's my relationship with my parents right now. Last month, I went to see my dad. I dropped in on him. I have to drop in on him because I'm not welcome there. But in my mind, I thought, well, I have to take the initiative, and I have to, even though they don't want me to, I have to drop in on them and say hello, because I just didn't want my relationship to just disappear, And so the last time I was there, he didn't even want to let me in the house, and basically he said, Roxy, well, he doesn't call me by my name. He uses my birth name, which is offensive in itself, but he said, I can't do this, and I don't ever want to see you again. And that was really hard to take. And I don't know if I should press the issue and just keep dropping in on him, even though it's very painful, or just, it's been 2 years since I came out transgender, and instead of it getting better between us, it just seems to be getting worse and worse, and there's just more distance, and I don't really understand it, but there's not a lot I could do about it. At times it gets me very upset and very down in the dumps. I try not to think about it, but I felt like I was part of this huge family, and I don't have it anymore, and it's a huge part of me that's now missing. Even though I love the fact that I've transitioned, and for the first time in my life I feel like I like myself, and I feel like I like the way I look. The ironic thing about that is, every time I passed a mirror when I was younger, I thought I looked so weird before transition. And I sometimes studied myself, and I thought, God, you just look so weird. And I just would say, oh, well, I'm a weird-looking person. But now I pass the mirror, and I think, God, I like the way I look. And the funny thing is I don't think I look weird anymore, but now people think I look weird. So what? I don't care. I'm Roxy Rose, and I like myself. And so that's a bit about me and my parents and their lack of acceptance. I wish, I had nicer things to say about my family. Sometimes I get very resentful, and I can't think of anything nice to say. But then sometimes I'm sympathetic, and, I just stay in my place and keep my mouth shut and stay away from them. But it's very hard sometimes not to think about them and the loss of the family that I had. And I'm sure for a lot of transgender people, they have a much worse situation. And I hope that my story has, in some way, maybe some people find a little comfort in hearing other transgender stories. And that's what this is all about. Plus, I get a lot out of it because talking about it is a bit therapeutic. So I hope somebody out there is watching, and I hope in the slightest little bit, I hope maybe I've been a little help to somebody. So I'm going to let you go here, and this has been Roxy Rose talking about family relationships, or the lack of it after transition. So I'm going to leave you there, and I hope to see you again on another video clip. Bye-bye.